When did tattooing stop being cool?
That's a very loaded question.
It is.
When did it stop being cool?
When I started. It stopped being cool.
Excuse me. When did tattooing stop being cool?
As soon as I wasn't scary anymore, it stopped being cool.
Tattooing stopped being cool when all people wanted was the stupid lion clock rose.
I want to say like all the dainty like watercolor stuff. And I'm talking hella about people's tattoos.
The internet.
That one's super hard to answer because I'm just gonna go with the memes. Like as soon as people started getting like Patrick like and stuff like that, I think it just like it hit the fan for everyone. I think it was like nothing's off the table anymore. Like we're just gonna be tattooing whatever the at any point and we have no jurisdiction over that. Like it's just gonna happen.
When celebrities started like getting more and more prevalent in this culture.
As soon as people were like, you look cool, I'm like, oh my God, it's over.
It used to be no one would say anything to you. They would like grab their kid and walk across the street. And then now dads are trying to fist bump you and face tats, I love your tats. And then people are like, oh, I love your tats. And I'm like, do you?
You look at all the rappers, they just cover themselves. There's probably like 2 rappers who have good tattoos. You get tattoos to just get tattooed, and it's not about the art. They're not good tattoos, so I would say that.
Now it just seems like most people want to get a replication of something they found on the internet somewhere on someone else. Specifically, so actually, like you see a celebrity with a specific type of tattoo, you can already tell there's going to be like next like 2 weeks of clients just coming for that same one, you know?
When everyone started getting like hand and neck tattoos that have no tattoos, when I started getting tattooed, the only people, like the badasses, had their hands and their neck done, but they were sleeved out. That was a bad motherfucker. But like, you know, you have this kid that listens to Billie Eilish and they get their neck done, that's their first one, and then all of a sudden like, oh, I'm hip, I'm a badass. Like, no, you're not.
I blame it on Google. It's all Google's fault, it's all Safari's fault. Because if you go and look up any tattoos, like the worst tattoos are always the first ones that like pop up on Google, and that's like what people grab.
I feel like the creativity is not really there. Like, I feel like a lot of people's ideas of getting a tattoo is going on the internet. There's nothing wrong with that, by the way, but going on the internet and getting a reference of someone else's tattoo and being like, this is exactly what I wanted. This exact thing that somebody else did, I want it on my arm, but slightly different. And I'm like, that's cool, but like, why don't we talk about the reasons why you're getting that tattoo? Why don't we talk about the imagery and what that represents for you, and then come up with something completely different? Like, that would be sick. So for me, I think that that's the only frustrating part, is that there's such an abundance of tattoos and amazing tattoo artists to pick from. And so people are like, oh, this sick tat, I want it. And I'm like, yo, but sick tat could be sicker. Let's do sicker. So that's the only thing I would say about that.
I think elements of tattooing can jump the shark, but I don't think the industry as a whole has jumped the shark, right? Tattooing is just a medium in the same way that painting or photography is a medium. I'll tell you my personal thing, right? I remember I used to follow Nico because I was like super impressed by the realism, obviously, right? And it's not even necessarily my thing, but it's technically wizard status. It's really good. But then he did some Kobe portrait like years ago, and I had like zoomed into it, and like he had gone to do the holes in the mesh of the jersey and every bead of sweat, and I was like, I don't fucking care about realism anymore. That was the instant, and I was just like, nobody needs holes in the jerseys. Like, this is just like flexing your technical skills, which is fine and it's impressive.
It's not becoming oversaturated, but there is this big shift that's happened. I mean, I've been tattooing 22 years-ish, so like even from when I started, there has been this big shift. It used to just be people who got into the tattoo art. Sometimes they were artists, but now it's this massive fine art thing. All these people who go study actual art are becoming tattooers, and it's just everything has changed. The mentality, like everything was a lot harder, more secretive, where everything is now put on by fine artists, and prices have, more than quadrupled easily. You know what I mean? Something that used to cost $200 back in the day is now costing $4,000. So it's just, I don't know if it's quite jumped the shark yet, or if it's going to, but I'm just very curious in the future because everything is changing exponentially and very fast. So I don't know. I'm just curious. I'm kind of just sitting back and watching it happen.
It's never stopped being cool. It's always cool.
Oh, it's still cool. What do you mean? It's cooler now.
Never. It's always cool.
I don't believe I've ever had that feeling before.
I feel like when I first started years ago, it was not like this. And now it's like, if you have a tattoo, you're just a cool person.
I love tattooing and where it's going and everything. I mean, it's every day it's evolving. I mean, every day it's getting better. Every day there's another artist just coming out of the woodworks with amazing work.
Even if it comes to more like a mainstream, it is still cool.
I think it's much better now. Like, why gatekeep art in any way? I think it's so much better now that everybody's just so accepting and they love seeing what people do to like customize themselves.
Everyone with the different styles. I mean, I remember some years ago, like dot work wasn't a thing, black work wasn't a thing. You know, it's just like realism, color realism, traditional, neo-traditional, and that was it.
I love the fact that it's shifting. Like if you imagine, like for many years it will be stagnant and it's still the same, it's still tied to some like a subculture or something. I think it's boring. I love always the evolution, so for me it's perfect.
I want to say, honestly, a lot of people are of the opinion that reality tattoo shows, the originals or whatever, really hurt tattoo, but I want to say that it also got a lot of industry visibility. So more people in like the general public or whatever came around to the idea that maybe they would be something, or maybe they would be interested in it as something they'd want. So I think it actually, in turn, helped it.
I like it, actually. I feel like everybody progressed unbelievably, or they didn't and they hated it and they're stuck. But that's really not, like, that's your own fault. If you like hate change and progress and are stuck, then I guess we'll see you later, you know?
Everybody's so fucking good out there these days that like it's constantly pushing everybody to get better and constantly like upping the game. Again, how you decorate your body is on you. It don't change the way I sleep at night. So if it helps you, do your thing. You know what I mean? So
I don't think it's never gonna not be cool.
Yeah, no, I think it's gonna be cool forever.
Yeah.
I hope so, or
It has to be.
we're all gonna like look really
Dumb.
dumb later on.
And homeless. That's my job.
Yeah.
That's my job.
Every generation of tattooers, they had their era where it was, you know, super cool, and then the next thing wasn't. So like say when tattooing was illegal in New York, that was like, you know, you had to know somebody to get tattooed or whatever, and then becoming legal was is way easier to get one, so then it's more mainstream. And then after Inked Master and stuff like that, it's more accessible to the masses to appreciate the art. So for us, maybe that our generation is before this newer one getting tattooed, it might be uncool, but for them it's just another way to express themselves that for the, you know, cool for them, gross for us, and even worse for our parents. So, you know, so it varies.
It's just a matter of perspective. So it's like being beautiful or not. What is beautiful? It's a concept that we have in our brains, but nobody can tell us like what is beautiful or what is not beautiful. What is cool and what is not cool depends on you and your circle, and I don't know what you do with your friends and what your friends and you think it's cool. So maybe what is cool for me is not cool for you. So I don't have that answer.
It's interesting to watch where tattooing is going. I'm not complaining. You know, there was a time where I was like, tattooing's over, man. The dishes are done. It's not. It's different, and it's more. I guess it's more of a business, but it's also what's like in your heart. Like whenever I'm tattooing with my friends, and it's the camaraderie, it's the experiences. That's really what tattooing is. It's not about like, oh, I'm at the bar and I have the coolest tattoos. It's sharing stories with clients and experiences, you know, and memories. That's what tattooing really is.
Yeah.
That was a great answer, I will say. That's probably the best answer we've gotten.
Yeah,
It's really good. While I sit here,
Adderall.
drink my coffee.
Yeah.
Adderall. Decaf.
That's crazy.
That's why I'm so quiet. Sorry.
You're just here to have your tits out. That's why.
Yeah, no, I talk so much unless I'm sitting in this
just
chair.
Squeeze back. Yeah. Just do that. Please do that.
This moment right now is when tattooing jumped the shark.
Yes,
Us being
fact.
in this. You guys messed up.
Should have never invited me.